everyone, welcome back to the book community, and today I'm going to do a book review of We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. So, I really like this book. I heard some negative comments, some positive ones. I didn't really know what to expect of this book, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and then you decide if you're interested in reading it or not. So, this is told from the perspective of Cadence. She's a teenage girl. I didn't understand it at first. I thought this was from multiple points of views. So, in the beginning, I was a bit confused about that. But no, it's only from the point of view of Cadence. There's like this aura around the Sinclair family about how they're rich and good looking, and they're like everyone is awed by them. And she tells the story from her perspective as being the oldest grandchild. So the first thing I'm going to mention about this book is I was pretty satisfied because when I opened this book, it had something beautiful, something that I really like a lot, which is a map. And at first I didn't know what this map was about. So you have to read to understand it. It's an island they own and they spend every summer there, and every single family has like a house of their own. This is what the map is about. And when I opened the book, I was not expecting a map because I only expect maps in fantasy books. So this was a nice surprise. I really like maps. I don't know why. And then you have the family tree, the Sinclair family tree. So as you can see, the story is told from this girl's perspective, Cadence. And she has a group of friends, her cousins, and they are called the Liars. And the Liars are Cadence, Mirren, Johnny, and let's say Johnny's friend, Gat. I'm not going to go very deep about how they know each other, but Gat's not part of the family, but he goes there every summer with them. This is a book about a normal teenage girl. Cadence is a normal teenage girl. She tells the stories about how every summer she has fun with her family, and they have like great adventures and stuff like that. And they all spend like happy summers in the island. And that's what the book is focused about. She starts having like a crush and starts to develop feelings for Gat. There's a little bit of romance there. But then she has an accident and she doesn't really remember what happened to her. She thinks she went for a swim alone and then she hit her head or something like that. After that, she develops a disease, a neurological disease, and she doesn't remember what happened that day. She only has like flashes of what happened, but she doesn't know the story, like the whole story. And then the next summer, she starts to get like really weak, physically weak, and she starts to have these crazy migraines. She has to start taking pills, and she had like a really bad memory loss. She doesn't really know what happened. And for the next summer, she goes with her dad and she goes travel through Europe. But she doesn't want to go to Europe. She wants to be with her cousins during summer. So the next summer, she convinces her family when the accident happened when she was 15, I think. And when she's 16, her dad takes her to Europe. And when she's 17, she's allowed to go back to the island. And nobody wants to tell her what happened. everyone refuses to tell her like what had happened on the day of her accident. They don't explain. Doctors said that it was better if she remembered by herself. So she starts having like these flashbacks, like random flashbacks, and she starts like taking notes, and she's really invested in knowing what happened, even though nobody tells her. Like her cousins don't tell her, her aunts then don't tell her, her grandfather. It's a big problem for her because she wants to know what happened. The ending is very good and it has a great plot twist. I'm not gonna say anything else about the book, but when I reached like halfway through the book, I was really invested and I finished it in a night. The chapters are very small, which is something that I really, really like. And the ending was something that I was totally not expecting. It left me shocked and it was really, really good. So in the beginning, you may find this book like kind of not boring, but like kind of it's the same thing. It's like, okay, it's a girl and she has a crush on a boy and she's a teenager, but then like the story starts getting deeper and deeper with the accident, and why does nobody tell her about what happens? Why does she have to be the one that finds out about what happens by herself? And that starts to be like really, really interesting. So halfway through the book, I was like really invested. I liked this book from the beginning, but people may find it like a bit boring in the beginning because it's just like a flat, normal story. And now I'm going to rate this book according to my criteria. And the characteristics that I usually use to rate books are the following ones. So the first one is the writing style. The writing style is about whether the book is very complex or has many details, or it's like the author didn't really seem to make an effort to write, or doesn't write very well, or doesn't express feelings very well, or is very detailed. It's all about the way the author writes the story itself. Then the plot, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's how much I liked the plot or how interesting the plot was of the book. The development has to do with time. Some books are like this thick and they only happen in a few days. Some books are this thick and they happen in the space of like 4, 5, 6 years. And that sometimes it bothers me, like either one of those. Sometimes the book goes very slow or it goes very fast. And then how much I liked the book in general. And then at the end, there's the overall rating. So the writing style, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because I was a bit confused at first, and the author uses many metaphors for her migraines, and I didn't really understand that at first. Like, she starts describing things, and I thought they were really happening, but they were not. It was just a metaphor for her migraines and all of that. So I was a little bit confused with some parts, and the fact that I thought that this was going to be told from the perspective of many, many people, and it took me a little bit to understand that it was only told from the perspective of Cadence. So that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. The plot was definitely a 5. I really liked the story. It was really, really good. I liked it from the beginning, like I said before. The development, this only happens during summers, so it makes sense that it happens during the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, because they don't talk about the other months. So I understand why they talk about several years with this book. So I give it a 5 out of 5. It has a good development. It doesn't go too fast, doesn't go too slow. It's a nice one. How much I've liked it? It's a 5. I really, really liked it. I recommend this book. So my overall rating is obviously a 5. I recommend this book. It has a little bit of adventure. It has a little bit of romance. It's a young adult. It's a light read, but also an interesting one. And that is all I have to say about this book. Go read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart because it is a fascinating book. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!